The thing is, you know, um, when you want to connect someone, there are a lot of little pitfalls you can get in, but let's concentrate on this later because first we want to accomplish what we can do, not what we cannot do. So, for example, if you want to do this with someone and want to talk, then the first thing you can do is just mention the name of the person. That's the first thing. For example, if you say, "Hi, Thomas, how are you?" This makes already a slightly different impact than when you just say, "Hi, how are you?" Even if you know the name of the person already, if you know each other, you feel more directly approached if someone mentions your name. And the good thing is, it's easy to stand out. It's just a little thing you have to do, but no one does it anymore anyway. So why not mention the name of the person? That's one thing you can do. Another thing to change is basically to talk to the person, not at the person. Because if you talk at the person, you're not in the sharing frame, you're trying to convince that person. Because this would be like you're talking to a friend and suddenly you start to try to sell something to this friend while you're amidst in a talk. Makes no sense at all, right? But if you just share because you want to mention it and give the value, like I'm talking now, then you can just use the information and apply it. But if I would be like, come on, you have to do this, you have to talk to the person, not at the person. Totally the vibe is suddenly very different. And you think like, what's he trying to get to do? What does he want? Why he's talking like this to me at the moment? So this is not what we want. Another thing is go to the descriptive level. What this basically means is if someone is laughing all the time, you could say, why are you laughing all the time? One possibility, which wouldn't be so bad, but what many people might be doing, if at all, they might say, haha, you're laughing a lot, cool, haha, or you're laughing nice, interesting, but that's so fake, so unreal, makes no sense at all. Another thing you can do, which is already a little bit better, is just you go up to this person, you're talking like you did before, no change so far. And you say now, if someone is laughing a lot, oh, you seem to be a very happy person. I like that. What is now different? We're describing from what we're seeing, hearing, what we perceive from the person, what it's meaning to you, how you perceive it. You describe back the character you derive from what you are perceiving right now. For example, if someone would be jumping all the time, you could say, wow, you have a lot of energy. If someone, for example, always makes a witty comment when you're saying something without even thinking much, like the answer comes back immediately, then you can even tell them, hey, I guess you're very witty. Or if they know a lot because you asked them something and immediately you get the facts back from them, you can say, oh my God, you gave me very big knowledge. Instead of saying, huh, okay, you can answer this, interesting. This would be a very flat response, not very descriptive. So the other examples I mentioned would be much better in that case. Again, to contrast a little bit, negative examples again would be like, let's say someone is laughing and you can say, you're very funny. Yes, it might be true, but in this case, because everyone says that, it's pretty flat, does not contain much information, and does not really help to describe the character of that person. Not at that moment. I hope this makes sense so far. If not, just write any comment to me and put it in the time, like for example, oh, you said this and that at 1:30. I don't understand why I should do this, or how do I have to understand the question? Just ask, and I'll try to answer that. What else you can do? You can, yes, you can ask the people why you're doing this. But if you just ask why, and the emotion behind the why is not just genuine interest, it will not work for you, especially being a guy. For women, this is different. You cannot copy it, because if a woman asks another woman about something, why are you doing this? Why are you feeling that way? And she might go one level deeper and explain it in an emotional way. If you ask the same way as a man, she might just say, oh, okay, let's make a concrete example to understand that better. For example, a girl would say to you like, what example could we use? Let's make a new one. You ask her why you're behaving like a guy sometimes. Maybe she will say to you more logically, because I have to if I want to do my business. But if you would listen to two women in a dialogue, and one would asking the other one same question, why you behave like a man sometimes, she might be saying immediately, because she knows now the why has an emotional context, because she's talking to another woman. She might say, you know, it's because sometimes I feel like I have no chance. My grandfather always expected me when I was born to be a boy, which I wasn't. As a fact, due to this, I was never allowed to celebrate my birthday, and I was very sad about that for a long time. But now, since I overcame that, now it's different. Now, I need to collect a lot of strength to doing my business. And yes, I'm normally a woman, but I'm urged to be in my logical side a lot and to show strength to make business decisions. Okay, let's stop that here. So you see the difference is the emotional answer would be much longer. Why? Because describing feelings is on one hand not really easy, and on the other hand, to be honest, it's not really possible as well. Because how do you really describe a feeling? Yes, we have those words in our language, what we can say and so on, but you cannot really describe it. There are no words for all those sensations, but we might summarize them, like if you feel something in your throat, you might say, oh, it's like a rope around my neck. It feels like everything's tightened up, so I cannot really breathe, and my chest breathing is really flat. I'm sweating, my hands are cold. So we might summarize those feelings as fear, for example.